Alright troops, it's your man Chris Scullion from TireOldHack.com, and here are my views on the Labo vehicle kit. This is kind of unscripted, just off the top of my head, so hopefully that is acceptable to you. For those not aware of it, the vehicle kit is the third of the Labo kits. Obviously it launched a few months back with the Variety kit and the Robot kit, and after kind of reasonable success, they're now back. Nintendo's back with this third one, the vehicle kit, and I'd say so far of the three, it's the most kind of complete in terms of a game experience rather than a bunch of kind of construction tech demos essentially. Even though the robot one had a bit more depth to it, it still didn't feel like a full game as such, but this does. So you get 5 kind of basic builds to start. These are the kind of 5 main ones. So you've got a foot pedal, which you control by just putting your foot down on the wheel, on the pedal. Sorry, your Joy-Con goes inside it, and as you press down, the angle that the Joy-Con's pointing at determines how far down the pedal's being pressed. You get a key, which kind of holds the other Joy-Con, and that you place that inside the other vehicles, and it can identify which vehicle you're driving, and then as you turn the various gizmos and doohickeys on these vehicles, the Joy-Con inside the key reads the movement of what's going on and kind of responds accordingly in the game. Then you get the 3 vehicles. You get the car, which is basically a steering wheel with a bunch of levers that activate different abilities. You've got a submarine, which consists of 2 big wheels that you turn to rotate 2 engines that are inside it, and you've got the plane, which is a joystick that you kind of move about, and it's also got a trigger that you can use to fire missiles and stuff. And that's about it. There's 3 other things you can kind of build separately if you want. There's a spare key for kind of co-op gameplay. There's a screen holder that you can plug into the car so you can see the game. You can play the game away from the TV, and there's a spray can which you can use during the kind of paint studio mode, which lets you kind of spray designs on your vehicles of choice, which is quite nifty. You can create your own masks by putting them in front of the IR camera on the Joy-Con. So if you want to, for example, paint your hand, turn your hand into a mask, you can put your hand up in front of the paint can and it'll spray around it, which is quite a cool idea. So there's that. There's the main kind of game modes. There's a bunch of kind of mini game type things which aren't quite as meaty as the main adventure mode. There's a slot cars thing which only uses the pedal, and that's a kind of slot car skill extras type thing where the faster you put your foot down, the faster your car goes, and obviously if you go too fast, the car pings off the track. There's the paint studio I was talking about before, where you paint on the cars. There's circuit mode, which is pretty much like the circuit mode in the Variety kit, which you get when you build the motorbike. So you get to drive around kind of various circuits similar to that, but there's a couple of fewer tracks in it. There's Rally, where you drive about various locales from the adventure mode through a series of gates. It's interesting, but it's quite tricky. It doesn't kind of signpost where the gates are well enough, it could be argued. And then there's battle mode, where 2 cars can kind of fight each other, but it's obviously quite pricey because you're going to need 2 fully built Labo cars, but I think, I mean, luckily there's an AI opponent, so you can at least try it out, which is fine. But then the main kind of meat of it is the adventure mode, where it is basically a big free roaming adventure set over 10 different environments. So you've got like a meadow, a desert, a city, a mountain, all that kind of stuff. And in each of those, there are 8 different missions to take on. And these can range from anything from popping balloons to rescue missions where you're finding like a baby for its parent, or it could be environmental ones where you've got to cut down various trees, or you've got to pick up inanimate objects and take them to where they're supposed to be, stuff like that. There's a reasonably varied set of missions, although by the time you get to the end, by the time you're finishing all 80 of them, you notice some repetition. You'll notice that different areas have kind of similar missions where you're picking one thing up and taking it somewhere else, or you're doing that sort of thing. So by the end of it, you've exhausted the kind of possibilities. You get that feeling. As well as that, once you finish the 8 missions in an area, it then makes 5 stars appear, and these 5 stars are hidden in the area, and then you've got to go around and find those stars, and that adds to the longevity a bit. It's fun enough. It's not the longest thing. It took me about 5 hours to beat everything. You can see kind of footage from that here. This is my playthrough that you're watching, but that was me trying to fire through it as quickly as possible. You've got to imagine that younger gamers will take quite a bit longer to get through it than I did, but I still enjoyed it as I did it. Controlling the car and the plane, and it is a treat. The car handles really well. It makes fantastic use of HD rumble in the pedal and in the wheel. When you're topping up your fuel, the wheel kind of pulses and vibrates as if there's fuel coming into the car, which is really clever. Submarine I don't like so much. It's really fiddly to control, and I get that's how submarines maybe work. Is that you've got to twist the 2 handles and kind of twist them in a way that you're kind of controlling the vehicle, but it was far too overly complicated for what it was, and I can see kids probably getting frustrated with that, because I was getting frustrated with it, and I'm a 35-year-old man. And even by the end of it, by the time I'd finished all the missions and collected all the stars, I was still not happy with how the submarine handled. So there's that. But that aside, flying the plane's fun. Everything else is generally entertaining, and I had a good time with it. Like I say, the only real concern is that that main mode isn't enormous. It actually took me longer to build it than it did to play it. But that's just one mode. As long as if you're keen on kind of playing the others over and over again, that's fine. But for the most part, to me it's another step forward in the kind of Labo journey. I still don't think Labo's entirely there yet, but this is certainly the most complete feeling, the most complete game experience I've had in Labo so far. The variety kit was obviously just a series of little kind of toys, Toy-Con as they put it, and the robot kit was a bit more fleshed out, but still kind of felt bitty. It's still the kind of main robot mode was just kind of timed, smashing up as much as you can for the most part, whereas this is a proper adventure, as it's called, adventure mode. But that said, there's still missing a final wee step just to make it feel like a complete package. It's still this is a complete game where you've got 80 missions to complete and 50 stars to find, but once that's done, like that's it. You're just kind of driving about an empty environment, redoing the same missions over and over again. It feels like there's another wee extra step just to give it an extra wee bit more lifespan. But there we go. Yeah, overall, enjoyed it. It's still fairly pricey at 60 quid, but you're getting obviously it's the building aspect of it along with the game, which would be 40, 50, 45 quid in its own right. So that's how they justify the price. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting it together. I enjoyed playing it. It's not a must-have yet, I don't think. But if you've got kids who are kind of quite who like putting stuff together, like they're into Lego and stuff like that, I would say like kind of 9, 10, and anything older than that, this will be a fun wee kind of thing for them to play. It's still really well written. The instructions are really clear and detailed, and genuinely entertaining. Dialogue is well localised for UK market, and yeah, I was quite happy with it. So that's Labo, Labo 3, the vehicle kit. Decent, quite happy with that. It's very decent. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe and do all the stuff you're supposed to do, and I'll catch you on the flip-flop with another review very soon. Until then, visit TyrellHack.com for all of your gaming goodness. Thanks guys, bye bye.